co-camp director at wonderful Camp Napowan. That's why we're all here today. So thank you very much for coming. I know it's an awkward time schedule. It's usually on a Saturday, but this office is booked up for the next month and a half, and no point in having the leaders meeting when everybody's at camp. So don't want to take too much of your time this morning because it is early. So I'm just going to quickly introduce the different people that are here today. Like I said, my name is Raab, the co-camp director at Napowan. To my right is Hector, our new program director for this year.
Good morning.
In the back, we have Marty Shones, camp fixture. If you've ever been up to camp before, you know Marty. He is the co-camp director / chaplain with me. And right next to him, and he'll come up in a little bit, you don't need to turn around, is Stephen Wright. He went by Fidel when he worked up at camp. He is a council employee now, part-time, as a Boy Scout specialist. So if any of you have received my emails, that's what I've been doing for the past 3 months until I got promoted to executive. So Steve is stepping into council to take over as the Boy Scout camp specialist. So what he's going to be doing is not only answering your Napowan questions throughout the year, but also trying to expand the year-long program at camp, and he is also specializing in different Boy Scout camping opportunities. So if you're looking for new, different, exciting opportunities for your scouts, email Steve and he will be able to set you up with some really cool things. So we are going to move right along in this agenda. I think you've been welcomed enough for today. We have donuts and coffee back there as well, if you would like some. But I would like to introduce once again Hector. He is our program director. Hector worked at Nature started in 2006 up at Camp Napowan. He's worked there ever since. He's nature director, great staff member. I'm very excited to have his enthusiasm and his just general good spirit and intellect. He is currently a junior at the University of Engineering. University of Engineering. University of Illinois, studying engineering. What's up with engineering?
Civil engineering.
So here is Hector, and we're going to skip it. We'll go.
Sounds good. Thanks, Rob. Yeah. All right. Good morning again. I'm going to talk a little while, trying not to keep around going on too long, but I'm just going to kind of give an overview of all the areas, remind everyone of what merit are offered there this summer, and talk about a couple new ideas to program that we have this year, some new things that might perk interest for the scouts and your trip. So I guess we can start with the clocks. Oh man.
You have to hit the projector.
All right, here we go. Okay, so we'll start with aquatics. This summer we have Eric Kazadik, the mental returning as our area director there. So he'll be back again for his second year in the position, or third year. I don't remember, but he's been there for a while. He's got the ropes down. It's great. All the same merit badges pretty much: swimming and life saving, won't be required. Motorboating, canoeing, rowing, and small boat sailing. And the addition this year, we have a new merit badge being offered. It was added last year, kayaking merit badge. That will be offered at the boating area. And it will be scheduled. It'll be a little bit different. We only have 12 packs available, but we are able to get the merit badge done in less than a week. So we will be able to do 2 shifts of scouts per merit badge time. So it's a sign up in the afternoon. There are 2 and 3 o'clock signups online when you register for your merit badge if scouts want to take kayaking. In addition to that, all the same, open swimming in the afternoon, open boating as well, available to the scouts. That's pretty much the appliance area in a nutshell. Yeah.
I noticed that water sports is not out there. Last year it was, and we were up there, we had a little bit of schedule with that. Is that kind of next on the program?
We have water sports this year. We just kind of realized that there is so much of a learning curve for some of the scouts that have been in that experience before that in order to fairly get all the scouts through, sometimes we're just not able to do it. So we're not really as well as we should be out in that. We have eliminated water sports for the summer. So that'll Shooting sports. So we've got Tom Patrick returning as our shooting sports director. And then we also have Tom Wolf returning in archery as the archery manager. We have a new shotgun manager, Jimmy Ember. He'll be up here. He is an applicant. He's worked at other camps for the past 6 or 7 years, so he has a lot of really good camping experience. We'll still be doing black powder. We still have open shoot during the evening so that scouts can get their merit badges completed. I was not at camp last year, but Tom found a really, really good system that worked for shooting sports, and it ran very smoothly last year. So I've pretty much given him free rein to continue what he's doing. He's been doing a great job. So same as always, rifle and shotgun. You will need to purchase ammunition, or you will need to purchase rounds in order to complete the merit badge. But that's all listed in the leader's guide. Approximate prices for that. Nature, my home, but Rad's home too, I guess, for sure. You got a question back there?
Yes, for the shooting sports, from a scheduling standpoint,
Is it possible for the boys to take all three through the week, or is it 2?
It would be possible to take all three. It would take some time, but you would be able to do it, yeah. If there are scouts that are really interested, definitely. We have, so shotgun and archery will be offered in the mornings, and the rifle will also have an afternoon class, so you can figure out the take all. Excellent, yeah, another question. Sure.
What gauge are the shotguns?
What gauge are the shotguns? I'm not sure off the top of my head.
12.
12 gauge. 12 gauge shotguns. All right. Yeah.
Is there any particular reason there's not like fish and wildlife or soil and water in nature commission?
Yes, there is. Well, so nature, one of the things that we realized was there are a lot of badges that only 1 or 2 or 3 scouts would take from week to week. What we wanted to do is we wanted to pare down some of the badges that didn't make as much sense. For example, you notice that oceanography is missing. We kind of figured that we aren't perfectly equipped. A lot of times in nature, we've often merit badges that have, in the past, we've been able to complete them, but we figure that for oceanography, for example, or some of those other merit badges, they can be completed better where there are more resources, where scouts can have a more full understanding of the badge that way. So what we looked at nature for this year, we cut 3 or 4 merit badges that we thought either A, didn't provide, they were either very book heavy, reading intensive. We wanted to find the merit badges that would give the most utility to the scouts, have the most fun. So we've kept bird study, fishing, forestry, geology, mammal study, nature, space exploration, and weather. Those are some of our most popular badges, and they require the least book work. I mean, for a lot of times, soil and water and fish and wildlife, the only way that you can do the requirements would be pretty much reading through the book. We try to figure out ways to do it differently. But in terms of scouting interest, we decided that these were the most essential badges in nature. As always, environmental science will be offered in the class format. All the other merit badges are open. The nature director this summer is John Crow. He has previously worked at Eagle Oasis and Ambulance Initiative, and he's ready to take this the nature area to the next level this year. So he's very excited about that. Any questions about nature? All right. Flintlock. All right, so Flintlock director this summer is Griffin Linehan. His nickname's Wafer. He's worked in the forge in the past, and he's kind of, I consider him to kind of be a rising star of camp. He's a young rising star who's already taken this job to new heights as far as I can tell. I mean, one of the big areas of Flintlock, one of the big goals for Flintlock this summer is we're trying to bring the area a little bit closer to home. In the past couple of years, the area's been pretty spread out, and there isn't really that sense of community, and there hasn't been as much of a sense of community as I'd like to see in Flintlock. So what you'll notice this year going on in Flintlock is that we're trying to keep things a little bit more centered, so it looks like it's a bit more crowded, it's a bit more bustling, I guess. You kind of get the real sense that it is an active living community. So all the merit badges are pretty much the same. Basketry, graphic arts, Indian lore, leatherwork, metalwork, pottery, and wood carving. Some of the most popular ones are down there for young scouts. If you have new scouts coming up to camp for the first time, we recommend leatherwork, basketry, or wood carving is great first-year merit badges that will perk scouts' interest. So if you're looking for merit badges to sign new scouts up for in Flintlock, those 3 are great. Metalwork is also an incredible opportunity. We are only one of 2 Boy Scout camps in the country to have a working forge on camp, and scouts can take metalwork and use that forge to create create what they need to earn the merit badge. We're also looking into having the possibility for open forging for adults this week on Thursday night down at Ford. So if you're interested as well, you might have a chance to get down there and try your hand at it as well. So great. Any questions about Flintlock? Yes?
Photography on?
Photography's still there. That's going to be offered for
Okay.
Yeah. We're keeping photography. I wasn't there for it last year, but I heard nothing but really good things about it.
Yeah, it was really good.
Yeah, we're gonna keep that there. All right. Sherwood. All right, so Sherwood, we've got the same 5 that we've always offered: camping, cooking, orienteering, pioneering, and wilderness survival. We also are offering a new merit badge at Sherwood, geocaching. Just like all the other merit badges at Sherwood, this will be an open badge, so there's no class sign-up time for geocaching. We do have GPS units available, and we all have a geocaching course set up. There is one pre- or post-requisite that the scouts will need to complete outside of camp. There's a requirement for the badge that requires that they go to a geocaching event outside of camp and sort of promote the geocaching mission or participate in a geocaching event. They'll have to complete that outside of camp, but all the training for the geocaching units, all the training for GPS, how to run the course, will be available at camp. So that is a merit badge with a pre-requirement or a post-requirement, but you can get all the other work done at camp. One of the big ideas of Sherwood this year, the director is Tom Labasco. His name is Beast. He was on staff at Sherwood last year. Oh, awesome. He's really excited about it. And basically, what he's kind of been relating to me in terms of his ideas for the area is really going back to the basics of scouting in terms of making cool things with the pioneering type skills. So he's looking to sort of turn the pioneering area into a playground of sorts with stuff that he can teach scouts how to build, and he can have scouts build, and then scouts can basically use what they build. So it's kind of a really cool, full experience that the scouts can be able to get, especially with pioneering. Do you have a question?
Yeah, backing up to the last slide on photography, where is the photography being done at?
Photography is going to be done at Verona. I'll be explaining that in another slide. Yep, sure.
We have a group of boys that have partials in wilderness survival.
Okay.
What is the opportunity to not necessarily sign up for American, but to bring a partial to the organized?
To bring the partial to the overhead, yeah, that's perfectly fine.
So they don't need to sign up for the full American, they can just check.
Yeah, I would say have them sign up for the merit badge on double hunt, but then at the beginning of the week, they can just bring their partial card to the instructor and have that, and they'll let them know when they need to come back for the overhead event.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
With, us being 8 months away from cooking being a required equal merit badge, I would anticipate you guys are gonna have a bigger crowd than normal in cooking. And I know that I'm gonna promote it to my guys that are like star or first class, to go for it. Are you guys prepared to handle possible, are you anticipating it's gonna be busier than normal?
We are anticipating that's going to be busier than normal. One of Tom's priorities this year is to really improve that merit badge in terms of the things that we create. And so what we're doing is we're having these work directly with Linda, our head chef, this summer, and they're going to develop sort of a meal plan together that they can cook with utensils out in Sherwood area. So the format's going to be the same. The scouts will have to come, they'll skip a breakfast, a lunch, and a dinner, and they'll come down to Sherwood for those. But we're going to rev up kind of what we're doing in anticipation of cooking becoming equal over cool. So we're looking at more of a bigger crowd this summer for cooking, especially because of that, and we're going to be ready for it. As far as Sherwood goes, that's another area where we're trying to bring things back towards the shelters a little bit more. In the past, Sherwood's been really kind of spread out. All the Americans just kind of have their own area and their own neck of the woods. We're going to aim to, at least for where we can, bring scouts back to the area so that they kind of get that sense of community a little bit more, and that the scouts are more aware of all the Americans around in Sherwood, and that they don't have to really go looking for them. That's been something that we've heard about in the past. That's we wanted to improve on, so we're going to try to do that this year. We got a couple more areas to talk about. Here we go, Verona. So there are a couple edits to this slide. American cultures, American heritage, and scouting heritage are not going to be offered at Verona. They're going to be offered in the office, but they will be offered this summer as a part of our program. The Verona merit badges are going to be art, communications, music, painting, and photography. You will notice that there are 2 merit badges missing: public speaking and theater, also sculpture The reasons being, we are focusing more on the visual arts for Verona because what we're going to do this summer with those merit badges is really make them more project focused. So we're going to be getting scouts around camp doing projects for the merit badge, almost sort of like a road art or like an urban art type of feel where they'll be able to get around camp and kind of get a really cool experience. So it's not going to just be drawing a picture for the art merit badge. It's going to be collaborating on a mural somewhere or working on a bigger project together with more scouts. One of the complaints that we've gotten in the past about Verona is that the merit badges are very basic and that one of the problems is that the requirements are pretty basic. But we're really looking into making scouts get more out of these badges by offering them more, more challenging projects. Yeah, more fulfilling ones. So I've been working with the director this summer is going to be Carly Axe. And she has been working at Verona for 2 years now. And this will be her third year, and she'll be back as the director this summer. So she has a lot of great ideas in terms of what we'll be doing for that. Once again, photography will be offered again this year in pretty much the same format as it was last year. Communications is an Eagle required, and it's also a scheduled merit badge. That's information that the schedule times is available on the registration online. So you'll be able to find that there. Once again, American culture, American heritage, and Scouting heritage will be offered. They just won't be offered. It will be offered from the office. Any questions about Verona? All right. COPE. All right, so COPE AI, this is one of the big changes for this year. We are still offering COPE, we are still offering AI, but we are combining the forces. We've assembled a staff of 3 staff members that have a lot of experience in outdoor education and working with older scouts specifically. So the director this summer will be Alex Vanderlinde. She was the COPE director last year. Oh boy. Okay. All right. So Alex Vanderlinde is going to be the director, also staffing Symbol, Chris Vanderlinde, Alex's younger brother, and Splat, who's worked in the past with Sherwood and Nation. Great. So here's the kind of schedule. We're looking at Annuals Initiative first. So that's going to be offered as it has been the past 2 years, where each week we're going to take a group of no more than 10 to 12 scouts aged 14 and older that have kind of seen everything I think they have to see in Napowan already. We're going to offer them an entirely new experience. Highlights this year, one of the highlights is that we are going to be doing an off-camp trip. Overnight from Thursday morning, they'll leave. It'll be about an hour off camp, and then they'll return Friday morning. They'll be staying overnight. We're looking at a campsite right now in Mesquite, Wisconsin, which is about 45 minutes west of Wild Rose of Camp Napowan. So that'll give them the chance, once they bond earlier in the week, that'll give them the chance to get off camp and have an evening alone with some of the more experienced staff doing what they want to do, hiking, playing games, doing stuff outside, enjoying themselves. So we decided that we wanted to try this year because in its history, Napowan has been an adventure base, and we want to get that off-camp experience available to the scouts that really want to see something new. So some other highlights for the week, they do an intense COPE course on Monday with the area director, Alex Vanderlinde, in charge of that. And then on Tuesday, there's a canoe trip. There's, they do, Assassins, which is kind of a game where they kind of go around camp and they have to find certain staff members and do something with water balloons or take, tag them up or something. It's sort of like an amazing race type of thing. Wednesday, battle tubing. Tuesday night, there's nighttime zip lining. That's one of the favorite activities year in and year out for the older scouts to do. So we'll take them out after dark, 8, 8:30, and we'll have them go do the zip line or COPE course. Thursday is the trip, and then Friday they finish it up with return back to camp and they do the independent service project. We want the service to be a large component of the program also, because in order, since they have this opportunity to do all these cool things, we like to have them give back to the camp a little as well. The aim of this program is really to get older scouts more interested in Napowan by allowing them to spend time with other people that are like-minded. They've been there for a couple of years. They've taken most of the merit badges available. They want to see something new. So we're trying to build a sense of community with the older scouts that will, 1, get them interested in coming back to Napowan from year to year, and 2, possibly get them interested in joining adventuring as they get older and as they graduate from scouting. So it's a really great mission that we're trying to do to keep scouting alive, especially when scouts get to high school. Speaking from experience, once I started high school, it was really hard to stick with scouting, and we want to give scouts a good reason to do that. So I would really like that I would really like for all the leaders to go and talk about AI, see if there are scouts in your troop that are interested in coming up to camp and trying something completely new for the summer, because it will be a very rewarding experience. Yeah, in the back.
Hector, is this slide going to be available somewhere so I can show it to the older guys?
I got an A-OK from Raab, so yeah.
Yeah, we're putting not only the PowerPoint up, but we're also, we're videotaping it, so anybody who couldn't be here and wants to get all the information, we can send them a link to the meeting right now.
Perfect.
How do you go about signing scouts up?
It will be available on double knot registration. It's not available right now. We realized that this morning. We're going to get that option online. So when you register for your merit badges, there will be an ambulance initiative section where they can do that. Yeah.
Will it be full-time for the scouts, the DNAI, or just half days, or?
Good question. The AI program is an inclusive program. So basically what happens is when the scouts arrive on Sunday, there is a $25 surcharge for all the activities that they'll be able to do, but it includes the coat fee and that includes the off-camp trip. So it really is it's a great deal for the scouts. They will have time to take a couple of scheduled or non-scheduled merit badges in the afternoons. Later in the week, we'll have some free time in the afternoon where they can get a couple of non-scheduled badges done.
So this is basically morning, each morning?
It'll be each morning and some of the afternoons.
Okay.
So I think specifically, Wednesday afternoon and Friday afternoon, they will have time to work on open badges. I'd say I would recommend against signing up for scheduled badges because there's not a very good chance that they'll be able to finish it.
Okay.
So there will have time to do a couple of badges, just not the scheduled ones in the morning. So this is really for the scouts that have taken most of the badges that they want to that are scheduled. Yeah.
Is there a minimum age requirement for this?
Good question. Yeah, the minimum age requirement, the scouts must be 14 as of the time they arrive at camp. So, no rank requirement, but the age requirement is there. This will be a physically demanding course. Like there's the code element to it, and there is the OSCAP element to it. So the scouts should be excited about that. Make sure that they know that, and make sure that they see the slide and have it posted online and have the feed available.
So will they do every day and come back one day?
They don't. So the only time they're off camp is on Thursday to Friday. The rest of the time they will be on camp, but they'll just be around camp doing different things. So Monday they'll be at the coat course. Tuesday they'll be canoeing across Hills Lake. So that's technically off camp, but they'll still be around. And
This
then,
is run by the camp staff.
yeah, it is. It's run by the coat staff for free. Yeah.
Will they still be in the troop and just going to that and then back to the troop and then something?
They will. So the evenings, Tuesday evening there is an event for the AI troop, but the evenings they'll generally be open. Monday and Wednesday they'll be open to spend time with the troop. So during the day they will be as a part of this program, but it's not going to be like they're sleeping around or anything like that. Yeah.
Is the code course still going to be available to others independent of the unionist initiative?
It will be. So the AI program will run with the COPE course will still be offered 3 days a week. Depending on scout interest, what we're looking at is probably 2 days for scout COPE and then 1 day for leader COPE. Generally, it'll run the same way as it has in the past. One thing that we're trying to change is we're going to push the start time for COPE back to 10 a.m. so that if scouts have a badge and they want to get to at 9 a.m., they can still get to COPE by 10 a.m. and they don't have to miss a day of their scheduled badge. So obviously, if they do miss a badge that 1 day for COPE, they will be able to make it up later in the week on Friday. Our badges are scheduled so that the scheduled ones can be taught 4 days with the 5th day as a makeup. But yeah, good question. We will still offer COPE 2 days a week for scouts and 1 day for adults, if there is interest. And then in addition to that, we still offer the climbing merit badge as well. That's an open badge, generally in the afternoon, or no, generally in the morning. So COPE will be run in the afternoon, high COPE will be run, but in the morning when the scouts are doing low COPE, the climbing merit badge will be offered at the climbing wall.
What does that code stand for?
Challenging outdoor personal experience. So, or constant opportunities to plummet earthward. I've also heard that as well. All right, I got 1 or 2 more slides. Thanks for being patient. Just kind of run through. First aid emergency preparedness offered from the office. American Heritage, Scouting Heritage, Disabilities Awareness offered from the office as well. We have the computer merit badge again, all being offered from the computer lab. That's kind of a new addition. Middle last year we added that, and we found we were able to make it work pretty well. Horsemanship, we have the details for that setup. We're going to make that happen again this summer. I don't actually know too many of the details about that right now. This is something that I have just recently found out about, so I can answer more questions as I find out more about it myself. But let me know if you have any questions about any of these. Again, I'll be available after the meeting to answer any questions you have. One last thing I want to talk about in terms of program, one change we're making the evening program. If you've been here in the past, we have one camp-wide evening program night. That's going to be different. This year we have 2 of those. So Monday and Wednesday will be area-based programs. Tuesday will be the camp-wide games that you're kind of used to, or a camp-wide sort of event like that. Thursday night, we're going to be trying out for something called the camp-wide celebration. We're going to have everyone down in Flintlock in the Indian Village, and we're going to have a bunch of the areas helping out, doing like a big end-of-the-week party for everyone involved. We're looking at a cobbler cooking competition, so and that's going to be open to troops, both scouts and leaders. So we're going to be encouraging people to bring what they've got in terms of good food and making some good food there. Then of course we'll be having the Flintlock games, we'll be having a big campfire storytelling evening. It's kind of a big way, a big send-off for the week, just to let you guys know that we thank you very much for coming out and going and have a good last night at the camp.
Yeah. Thursday?
That's on Thursday night. So Tuesday night will be the campwide games, Thursday night will be the campwide celebration.
Where would we be at?
Sorry?
Where would that be at?
That will be housed at Flintlock. So we'll open up the Flintlock in the Indian Village completely. That would be the night where we'd be looking at doing adult open forge. So we can get the adults to come down. The forge would be for the adults, and then all the scouts would be able to play games, be able to cook coffee, do whatever they want, have a good time. The last night at camp together. Yeah.
Kind of like a potluck or something you say bring.
We're gonna do a cobbler cooking competition, so we'll have sign up for that during the week. So we encourage you to bring ingredients for cobbler and show what you got with prizes. We'll have our Sherwood staff cooking some cobbler also, but we wanted to open it up and we really want to see what troops can bring to the table. So yeah.
Do you have any adults programs for during the day, like training or anything like that?
We don't really have any adult programs during the day for training. Sometimes we'll be doing, in certain areas, we'll be doing different certifications. So we're looking at doing a leader of trades training in Asia. Those will be open both to scouts and adults. We don't really have any adult programs set up per se. There is like an adult survival guide we get at the beginning of the week that'll give you some stuff to do. But we don't really have anything specifically set up for adults. We do run leader code, so that would be something that you could do for a day. And that's basically just the course we do. It's like a team building activities, first one low course, and then you go up to the climbing wall and you do the zip line. Yeah.
We haven't been to Napowan before. What is the first year scouting program like?
Yeah, we'll talk about that in a little bit. We have something called the Camera Activity Program, CAP.
I can't hear, I'm sorry.
Excuse me, guys, thanks. We have something called CAP, which is a camper activity program all the first year scouts get. So all the scouts that we have bringing up to camp, they have this program. And they have the week basically to go around to all the areas, get to meet all the staff, and in each area they have a little checklist of things that they can do. So for example, at Flintlock, we have a candle making station, so they get to go down to Flintlock and make a candle, they get that signed off. If you go to nature, you can do nature hike, you can find edible plants, or collect edible or poisonous, well, not poisonous. Don't collect poisonous plants, you can collect edible plants. Just area-based activities, so going down to swimming, you can check out a boat, you can go with sand castle.
We typically, with the first year camp programs that work on ranking beds, is that what's happening in Napowan?
We are offering, we call it our Eagle Oasis program, and
Okay.
basically what that's going to be is certain areas are going to have the ability to recommend approval from the leaders for certain requirements. So we aren't going to sign off on the book, but we're going to provide you with documentation saying, to our knowledge, your scouts fulfill this requirement, so you can go ahead and sign it off.
So how does that work? Do they sign up for that program, or that's the program they do during the week?
They'll be able to come up during the day at certain times to be determined, but it'll be by the area. You'll get a little passport, which is what we call the Eagle Oasis passport. It has like all the requirements listed up to the first class in there. So they'll be able to go around during the areas. We haven't set the times yet for when they will be available, but for the nature requirements, they can go up to nature, the staff can do that. For the knots and lashes, they can go down to Sherwood and do that. So they'll get a passport at the beginning of the week, and they can sign off there. And we'll sign that passport, and they'll give that passport back to you, and you can sign off.
And how much exercise do they have for merit badge? What merit badge should they do?
So how we work merit badges is the majority of our merit badges are open, which means that outside of the aquatic merit badges, the shooting sports merit badges, communications, first aid badges, and by side, all of them, the scouts can come whenever they would like. So most of the badges, Flintlock, Verona, Sherwood, Nature, are open for whatever. So what we generally have scouts do is they'll generally sign up for 2 to 3 scheduled badges, either in the morning or early in the afternoon. And then the rest of the day they have to either wander around camp and find which badge interests them, or they can work on other requirements, for example, for the rank advancing or do code or anything like that. So it's kind of a different experience. It's not all scheduled badges. We just have the scheduled ones that need to be more ordered than that.
Right.
Does that answer your question? Sorry.
Yeah, it's different than what we experienced, where typically the first year scouts are going to the program all day, and then they get a few merit badges, you know, like swimming, bathing, something like that, and their time is planned for it.
Okay.
But I'm just trying to understand, because it sounds like it's rather open, they have to take the initiative to go to these different locations.
They definitely do. I can talk with you after the meeting, and I can give you some advice as to what other scout leaders have done in the past with their scouts and that. So feel free to go up to me after the meeting and answer your questions. Sure.
I want to make sure you realize this is not a complaint, it's a request.
Okay.
For those of us who enter the merit badges into Troopmaster, in our when we come in at the beginning of the week, can we just get a sheet of who the first and last name of the director of that area is that's going to be signing the merit badges so they can enter that correctly?
Yeah, I can set that up for you.
Okay, thanks. We realize that they're signing hundreds of them, so it's just.
Yeah, so we can get, I can definitely get a sheet out saying who are the area directors for these areas and what merit badges are for those, so you'll know that the names match.
Awesome, thank you.
Okay, any other questions?
Just real quick, Hector, will that passport for Eagle Races, will that be available online for us to print and give to the scouts before we go, if we want to do that?
It will, yeah, so it'll be available online, so you can print it out for, we will have some copies in the office as well, but
Okay.
if you want to print it out before we do it.
Okay.
Yeah, on that Eagle Oasis thing, is it going to be set up like it was last year, where certain days are going to be certain places they can go? It's not going to be like, hold the shelter all week.
Exactly, so we haven't determined the exact schedule yet, but it's going to be similar, so there will be certain days that we can go in certain places. We're looking to do that with Cook Fire and Ship as well, so that'll kind of be umbrella underneath that as well, so that'll be offered at Sherwood at certain times and certain days as well.
Do you think you'll announce that like in the morning and announcements at
Yeah.
class?
We typically do that, so. And we're also, one of the big developments we're looking to do this year is we're looking to get a message board out in the parade field, so we can post daily schedule stuff there, so you can go take a look at the change our messages. So we're working on that as well. Any other questions, program related? I'm pretty much done for right now. Yeah.
Excuse me, I'm just reading the email that was asking me to ask you.
Great.
The woman who is working on our schedule, our report, says that they're working to full reports for 221. They can't figure it out quite yet. She has her own report, and she said Steve's the fellow working on it.
Sorry?
Steven is the fellow working on it. Is that you?
No, I'm not Steve. Steven's back there. We're going to talk a little bit more about double knot later.
Okay.
Yeah, the double knot system's new this year. We're going to talk a little bit more about how to sign up for that and what you can do stuff like that later in this meeting.
All right, great.
Yeah, so that'll be later. Yes.
The prerequisites for these merit badges, are they updated on your website, so they're pre-current?
Not yet. They won't.
Oh, okay, okay. Because some of the kids were concerned that for swimming, I used to all my legals for swimming, and it said you have to have CPR to do it.
Yeah, so we do CPR. The CPR requirement will be taken care of.
Okay, so it's not a prerequisite.
It's not a prerequisite.
Okay, all right.
It's like an extra hour.
Yeah, exactly. So we'll have to reorganize that. Any other questions? All right, well, I'm going to welcome Raab back up to the stage, and he's going to talk about some new opportunities in Napowan this summer and next year program.
He'll be back, Thank you. Yeah, so we were really excited about the program opportunities. We've updated them quite a bit for this year. I was looking at the camp site that you guys filled out. It's awesome. We have some Des Plaines Valley Council, Three Fires, Blackhawk Area Council here. It's awesome. Thank you guys for coming again. We also have another visitor that came, Mr. Mike Tangen, our council programming chair, and it is his 40th birthday today.
It's actually 39, but that's okay.
It's something we're trying. I think it can work out very well. And a big reason why we went to this system is because when I was younger and just a regular scout at camp, we had Coke run every single day. And it was full. We had 15 people take it every single day. And over the years, it's kind of waned in interest. Coke teaches outdoor leadership skills. It teaches teamwork. It teaches camaraderie. And you get a 400-foot zip line at the end of the day. You can't ask for anything better than that. So we really are pushing Coke. It's a phenomenal program. And our focus in the past few years has really been merit badge driven. And we've kind of gotten away from some of the other amazing things Napowan offers. So when you go back to your troops, really push Coke. It's a low fee. Leaders can take it as well. So come with the mindset, let's challenge ourselves a little bit outdoors, learn some great teamwork skills. Some of the other pieces of paper that you got while you're out there, one of them is a blue sheet that we made up. That's for our Weeblos camp, which we're offering this summer, which is July 4th to July 7th. Steve sent an email out to the units that are coming up the 4th of July week. I wanted to briefly talk about our Weeblos camp just because I got some phone calls. It will not interfere with the program at all of the Boy Scouts that are up there for the 4th of July week. We want to view this as an opportunity to recruit from Weeblos into your troops. So if you are coming up the 4th of July week, that's the 3rd week we offer camp, talk with some of the Weeblo packs in your area and invite the Weeblos to camp with you that Friday and Saturday. Really view this as a time where we can increase our retention rate from Weeblos to first-year scouts. Weeblos program is very simple. They're going to come up Thursday night, which is the 4th of July. They can also come up that Friday morning if they have 4th of July plans. But that Friday, they're going to be able to go to some of the different areas around camp. They'll be able to see our Flintlock village, our 1800s village. They'll be able to go to Verona, a bunch of the other different awesome things that the Boy Scouts offer. So they'll be able to get a taste of what it's like to be on a real live Boy Scout camp. They won't be able to do swimming or boating or shooting that day because we're going to reserve that for all the Boy Scouts that are there that week. Saturday, once the troops leave, we're going to run a Weeblos camp for them, and then they're going to leave Sunday. We're very excited about this. Napowan used to have 3 or 4 Weeblos camps over the summer. We eliminated it in 2007. I think it's a phenomenal way to get Weeblos out into our wonderful, pristine wilderness of Camp Napowan.
And it's only $50 for a scout, and then it's $50 a person. So we're trying to keep it as cheap as possible. You know, go over a little bit longer of a span of time so that we can get as many up there as we can.
Thanks, and because I did get some emails about that, as in why is the price for the Weeblos so low? Because we have. Thanks, Steve, bring that out in front of everybody. No, the reason it's very simple. What your fee pays for is obviously your food. But the #1 cost is the staff. The Weeblos camp is staffed by all volunteers. So if all of my staff are volunteers, you guys are very cheap camp. Really monumentally low. But that's where the majority of your fee comes from. And since the Weeblos camp is all volunteers, we don't have to pay the staff to be there. So that's why theirs is a lot more. Because I did get some angry calls, which I should have thought of before I wrote the $50. So Steve's going to talk a little bit about Venture Camp, unless there's any questions on Weeblos. Oh, yes.
I remember you guys yesterday, but I don't remember. Can the Weeblos, if they come up and you have siblings in the scout troop, can they stay with the scout troop?
They can. So we have campsites set aside for the Weeblos, but if you would also like to camp with a unit, that is more than okay. And when units sign up, Cub units sign up, I'm going to contact them and find out if they'd like to stay with the Boy Scout troop in their area, and then contact the Boy Scout troop and see if they wouldn't mind having some overnight visitors with them. If not, we have a whole party camp set aside for Weeblos. It's not being used. The 4th of July is our lowest week in attendance. It's the 4th of July. So we have a number of campsites that aren't being utilized that week. Any other questions before? Yes, sir.
You are not having then the Weeblos camp that usually is like the first week, the weekend of the first week?
In terms of at Napowan? Yeah, we haven't had that for the past few years, so this is what this is. So it used to be called Weeblos Weekend, but since they're coming up Thursday, we just because I did get questions in my district. All the districts are still doing their WOW weekends. Lakota has a number of those opportunities as well. What we're really trying to do here at council is to re-engage scouts with the outdoors, re-engage scouts with the program, and show them the importance of Boy Scouts in 2013. So that's why you have a number of different options to go to. All the programs are top-notch that we're offering for our Cub Scouts and Boy Scouts. So you guys get to pick what weekend works best for you. Wonderful. And that's the party line on our statement. Be there.
And then we also are adding a venturing camp to Napowan this year as well. We haven't done a venturing camp since 2005, Marty? 2005. So it's been a good couple of years, so we're bringing it back. It's going to be actually after all the Boy Scouts are gone from Napowan. It's going to be, we're going to close everything down. We're going to keep some stuff open, and then they're going to be there on a Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, right after camp ends, which is the third, fourth, and fifth.
Oh.
No, I think it's the 4th, 5th, and 6th, so the 5th, 6th, and 7th in August. So they're going to be coming up for that. We're inviting to any venturing crew or anybody in venturing crew, not only across our council, but any council in our immediate area, the Area 7, so 3 Fires, Chicago Area Council, are all invited to come. We're starting it at Napowan this year, and then from previous years from here on out, we're going to try to make it a week long and move it from camp to camp throughout the council. So this year it'll be at Napowan, next year maybe at Owassapee, the next year maybe at Makajuan. So we're going to try to really engage the venturing scouts into moving into all these really cool areas that our local councils own to go up and make it exciting and interesting each year, and to try to build the venturing program as well. So that's not going to interfere with Boy Scouts at all, because it's right after everything is done.
So we're really excited about that. Both of those opportunities, you'll be able to sign up on Double Knot exclusively. Like Hector said, I'm going to run you through how to sign up your troop on Double Knot after we're done presenting a few more things, because I know it's frustrating, so we'll get there. A few more cool, different program opportunities we have for this year. Yes, sir.
I just wanted to know if there's any information on the venturing.
It's on Double Knot. I'm working on putting more information, flyers up as I'm creating them, because this is kind of a brand new idea.
Yes, I meant to say back, I remember something right there. We're going to send all of this information out in another email blast after, because we have a number of people that weren't able to make it, a number of Wisconsin, and a few conflicts. So we're going to send out all the flyers we have, a link to the YouTube video, and just some general information that we go over. So yeah, we'll have all those flyers done for that. Another big thing we're doing at Napowan is improving our NOVA/STEM area. The big push in the Boy Scouts this year is our Science, Technology, Education, and Mathematics Initiative, shortened for STEM. We realize that we're losing a number of youth to different science-based activities, because a good background in science, technology, engineering, and math can really lay the pathway for a wonderful future in terms of college and technology-driven jobs. So we've really embraced that. But we don't want to just put scouts in a classroom and go over things that they're learning in school. What Lakota and Napowan are doing this summer is taking those core principles of science and math and engineering and technology and moving it into the outdoors. You might ask, how are we going to do that? Well, the person recording us right now, Donut, is our STEM specialist up at Napowan. He's designing a program that's going to take scouts into the outdoors and show them some of the benefits of science. So we have week-long and summer-long experiments we'll be running. We have our very own drone program, which I'm so excited about. We bought drones, basically, so scouts will be able to fly them on iPads. We have our computer technology area. We downloaded a bunch of different applications for those computers. We have iPads that will be able to take on astronomy hikes day or night, cloudy, rainy, does not matter. So we're taking the principles that they learn in school and applying those to the outdoors. So we're very excited about that. They'll also be able to earn the STEM Award at Napowan. It's a patch that you can earn when you fulfill the requirements of STEM. And yes,
Are you talking about the NOVA award?
yes, sorry, the NOVA Award. Flip flop. They won't be able to complete all of them. They'll be able to get a good jump start on one of them. So they get the patch, yes.
But they don't complete the award?
So the NOVA award is comprised of 4 different aspects. When you complete the first aspect, you get a patch. Emily has the patches. They're nifty. You get the patch that you put there, and then once you complete each different aspect, you get a little pin, and it has the symbol of pi on it, and you can collect all 4 little compass points for that. And beyond that, in the NOVA program, we have something called the Supernova Award, which is above and beyond. The Supernova Award is a lot like a merit badge, but hyped up because you have to meet with the counselor. All NOVA counselors are specialists in their fields. We're talking about doctors, engineers, mathematicians at universities. You'll meet with them and be able to complete that. We cannot do that at camp because we be but young. But they'll be able to complete the first part of the NOVA Award.
Well, I'm a little confused because the NOVA Award requires 3 hours of TV or science-related TV or reading.
Yes.
Plus a activity.
Yes.
And plus some interaction with the counselor. That's going to get done during camp.
It is. Like I said, it's not something that we're giving out. If a scout really wants during their NOVA, though, they will have the opportunity. We have a NOVA library up there, so they'll be able to go and read. Like I said, we have a whole computer lab stocked full of computers that are going to have pre-recorded segments on there. So if a scout's really interested in NOVA, they can earn their award. But it's not one of those things where you go for an hour, oh, I heard a lecture, we did a little rocket launch, here's your award. No, it's going to be something that has to be earned. So they can either start their NOVA award, or they can earn the first part of it up at camp. Good question. Any questions on NOVA/STEM? Yes?
I heard you say they could use the iPads for astronomy hikes, but now I'm thinking, I didn't hear the astronomy merit badge. Is that dropped?
Yes. So we're not going to be able to do the astronomy merit badge, but we're still going to have the star badge. Because let me tell you, having talked to people that have been to Philmont, and hearing what the stars are like there, I think ours are better. I haven't seen no, but seriously, I mean, I've never seen clearer stars than up at Napowan. There's no lights for miles around. And that's, I mean, going out on a star hike is such a part of a Boy Scout camp. So we're still going to have the star hikes. You just won't be able to get the badge. Because it is includes a 90-day log. And it's difficult.
The badge was originally, it was only a particle at Napowan anyway, because you need to keep, I think it's like tracking the phases of the moon.
Track the phase of the moon and moving to the constellations.
So there were a couple of requirements we couldn't complete at the camp, so there was very much scouting.
We're still going to be able to do all that fun stuff up there. Wonderful. And I don't want to make it seem like Napowan is going to be all STEM all the time. We're definitely incorporating a bunch of different aspects, but because I'm legally required to plug Lakota, I work with the person. Lakota is offering a Boy Scout NOVA camp. At this camp, it's 4 days. It's after summer ends. You'll be able to go to Lakota. It'll be all STEM and all NOVA. That is the specialty for that. You'll be able to get astronomy, automotive, aviation, and laser and kill me. I can't remember the fourth.
Is that published somewhere?
It is. All of that's online as well. And if you go out right by the front door, there's pamphlets for that. So there's a Boy Scout resident camp at Lakota for NOVA, and a Cub Scout resident camp for NOVA at Lakota as well this summer. And those are both 3 days long. Yeah, so that we're really excited about that. We have a lot of different program opportunities. The last thing I want to talk about before I shoot it over to Marty is our Alumni Association, which is another sheet that we had back there. Oh, thank you, Mr. Daniel. Oh, yes, these will be back there. Some of you may have gotten these in the mail. Emily designed it. It talks about the NOVA camps, the NOVA specific camps that our council is offering at Lakota. Those will be back there as well. Really, and it's laminated. The last thing I wanted to talk about is the Alumni Association, which is a sheet that you should have picked up back there. Great universities, great public works, all have great alumni associations attached to it. So we decided that's something that Napowan would need. It's open to any camper, past or present, or staff member that has gone to either Napowan, Lakota, for some of you older people in the room, Napowan, our old council camp, which we sold in the 70s. date yourself down. So if you've been a staff member, if you just camped at the camp, if you love the camps as much as we do, join the Alumni Society. It's just a way to get a database of names. We're going to have reunions every once in a while. We'll have service weekends up at the camps. It's $5 for a year. You get a really cool patch mailed to you. If you're interested in it, all the paperwork's back there. We've had a pretty good secret though, so I'm only at 4 weeks right now. But we're telling you. Any questions on the different camps or the Alumni Association? Yes, Steve.
If you fill out the application now, you can turn it in next year as you leave. We'll be a file right over here.
Very simple. Yes, sir.
How about high adventure programs? Are you running those?
All right. Yes. So I've gotten some emails on this as well. I'll try to answer them as best as we can. We don't have a dedicated staff person to run high adventure like we have in the years past. So if you would like to do a high adventure at Napowan, send either me, Steve, Hector, Marty an email, and we can help set you up in terms of giving you names and numbers of different vendors we've used in the past, suggesting different high adventures we've done in the past, but we're not going to run it exclusively through Napowan. So we're going to give you the information, we'll help you out as much as possible, but your own troop's going to own it as best as you can. So it's not, you can't sign up one scout for a high adventure up at Napowan. You need to, it needs to be a troop or crew driven event. So we will let you stay at camp at a very reduced rate if you'd like. We'll give you canoes, we'll give you different items, but you have to make the calls and set that up this year. And if we get a lot of interest in the high adventure program, then we can make a designated high adventure area up at camp where we have staff members that go out with you. But this year, for right now, it's going to be done through the troops and the groups. Any questions on that? Wonderful. Well, here to talk is the man, the myth, and the legend, the co-camp director up at Napowan, Marty Schultz. He's going to talk a little bit about some check-in, check-out procedures, and some other fun things that we have to offer.
The arrival at camp, all the check-in will be done at the pavilion again this year. When you arrive, please don't arrive before 1 o'clock. Staff meets starting at noon on Sunday. We give our staff off from noon Saturday till noon Sunday. And we have a quick staff meeting and lunch with the staff, so they are not available until 1 o'clock on Sunday. If you arrive earlier, you're just going to have to wait until we are ready for you, unfortunately. When you arrive, in the leader guide, there's a checklist of what you should be bringing with you inside. You're going to need 2 copies of physical forms for everybody. You're going to need troop rosters, a copy that you can keep for yourself and a copy you can turn in to us, so we know who's there. Preferably with name, address, and phone number for everybody. Checkout procedures would be the same thing with the new double knot program. It's going to be a little bit different this year. We're still working out some of the details on funding and so forth, but if you pay through double knot, you'll make the checkout a whole lot easier. But we will be doing individual unit checkouts up at camp just to make sure everything is all taken squared away and so forth. What did I say here? Okay. Are there any questions on check-in and check-out procedures?
There's a spot in Double Knot for the scout's name, and then they have their email and their home address. So do you need a separate roster in addition to that?
Preferably, yes. If you can print that out and bring it up to us, to save us a lot of hassle. Because in case of any last-minute additions or whatever.
We have a scout that has a family event on Sunday and won't be up Sunday. He'll be there Monday.
We can handle that. When they come in on Monday, all they got to do is check in at the office.
Okay.
Marty mentioned 2 copies of the medical form. Are we going to turn in 2 copies, or are we using one of those
No, we are required, we're talking about medical forms as a minute, we are required by law to keep a copy of the medical forms at camp for 2 years. So if you bring 2 copies, you have one and we have one. And we cannot give you yours back. Like I said, we are required by state law and BSA policy to retain those on file.
We need to give you 1 copy, we need to keep a copy in our trailer, or whatever.
The leader should have a copy of the medical form with them.
Right. Then you have a copy that you retain.
We will keep a copy at camp, yes. If one of your scouts or one of your leaders comes to us for medical care, or has to go to the hospital or whatever, we make a quick copy of it, we send a copy of that to the hospital. But you, as a leader, should have a copy of the medical form in your campsite just for your own reference purposes. Now, every scout, every leader who's going to be on camp more than 72 hours needs a complete physical signed by the doctor on an annual basis. If they've had a school physical within the past year, all you got to do is attach a copy of that to it. We will accept that. But it has to be dated within the past year from the date they are on camp. If they are going to be on camp less than 72 hours, basically they only need to fill out the first 2 parts of the A and B part of the form. But they will be required to turn in a health form to the office when they arrive.
Let me just reiterate that. You will accept the school medical form if it is within 1 year of the time of their.
Right, but we still would like a copy of the BSA form attached to it with current health history signed by the parent. That brings up the other issue of medication. All medication is required by law to be turned into the health office upon checking. The only exception to that would be emergency life-saving equipment like an EpiPen or some other asthma relief type of medication, which the health officer will make a decision on at that time of the medical recheck. But all medication is required by law to be turned into the office or to the health office.
That's for adults also, right?
That's for everybody on camp.
Is there any packaging requirements as far as how you know that?
Yes, the medicine has to be in the original container. We cannot take a baggie with 7 pills in it to say this belongs to Sam Scott. It has to be in the original container from the drugstore or the pharmacy with Scout's name, dosage, and so forth.
How do we deal with these mail order descriptions where you get 90 days and they don't want to give us 90 days or 90 days bottle of medicine? Because that's the problem we had before.
I cannot, we are required by law to have the name, the dosage, and such.
I understand some parents come there will give you the 90-day bottle of medicine. And they want to
All you do is take, use an older bottle. But it has to have the name of the patient and the dosage on it. The other thing, the other opportunity that we have for your scouts is we have staff for a day. We're always out recruiting staff. Some of our best staff, epitomized by Raab and Hector and Fidel, come from scouts that have camped at Napowan. Every year, if your scout has completed all the requirements that you want him to do during the course of the week, he's completed all his merit badges, he's done whatever you want him to do or what he wants to do, and you think he's done, and he wants to be a staff for a day, that's fine. We will accept any staff member or any youth who wants to be a staff member for a day with the Scoutmasters or the Scout leader's approval. If your scout wants to do it, all he's got to do is come to the office or talk to the area director of where he wants to work. If the area director says, yeah, we'll take you for a day, come on into the office with the scout leader and let us know what's going on.
Is there a age required, like 14 or above, or?
With staff, I cannot, our staff is, CITs are age 14. I cannot pay a staff member under the age of 15. If I got a 12 or 13-year-old who wants to be a staff for a day, I have no problem with that.
As a volunteer, then?
They can do that, and basically, all they're going to do is just hang around with the area directors and watch what they're doing and so forth, and just be part of the staff for a day.
Could a 10 or 11-year-old do it though? Could a 10 or 11, like a first-year scout do that for a day?
We would rather not have a first-year scout do it, mostly because they're far too young. It's going to be several years before they can actually be a staff member. We're looking more like a 13 or 14-year-old scout who has an interest in possibly being on staff.
You're not going to be paid for this, it's just volunteer, right?
And it's all volunteer, and it's only for one day. And lastly, Hector talked a little bit about the CAP program. The CAP program is one of the more unique things that we've done for about the last 20 years or so. We are looking at revising the CAP program a little bit to update it, bring it more in line with where we're at. The unique thing about the CAP program is that it gets a scout and, believe it or not, a first-year leader into all the program areas. Let them see what we do and where everything is and what's going on in each of the areas. This is not limited to just scouts. It's anybody who comes to camp for the first time this year is more than welcome to participate in the CAP program. You get a really cool recognition for completing the program in the form of a cow cap and an appropriate ceremony. But the other advantage to the CAP program is, like I said, we are looking at the requirements for the CAP program. While they are actually completing the CAP program, they might actually be completing some rank advancements if you stop and look. So when you come up to camp, or we will have the revised program online here shortly. Before you come up to camp, take a look at it. And like I said, it's one of the more unique opportunities and provides a form of recognition before the leader and the youth leave camp. And believe me, the leaders have more fun with the program than the scouts do. Okay? Yeah.
Hey, thank you, Marty. Hey, Marty.
Yes.
You got to order the arrow on your...
Oh, I'm sorry. Order Verona. We are not doing the ordeal ceremony at camp this year like we have in the past. Every week, the Order of the Arrow will be doing a social, ice cream social on Wednesday evening, or on Wednesday evening, I believe. But we will be doing a call out every week. There is one weekend during the course of the summer in which we will be doing the ordeal. And I believe that's toward the later part of July. I don't have the exact date in front of me, but we will be doing the ordeal just one weekend during the course of the summer. Reason for this is it puts too much of a burden on the camp and the staff to take and try to make this all work. So by doing it just in one weekend, we can have some meaningful projects set up for the candidates to do.
Marty, anyone who has a special dietary needs, how do you want to handle
I'm
that?
sorry, Steve.
I'm sorry, Marty, for the special dietary needs, how do you want us to handle that if we have a parent or a
website for the food service manager at Napowan.org. If you email your requirements to them, Linda will be looking at that website. We've also got a couple already of people that I've told about the special needs. But we will comply as much as possible. If we cannot comply with your special needs, we will let you know and have you bring up your own special foods and such. But like I said, send an email off to the food service manager at Napowan.org, and they will deal with that.
For the medical forms, any possibility of doing that electronically?
No. You can get them online.
No, I'm just saying, like, moving to more paperless society or something.
No. We need to have a copy on hand that we can sit there and look at.
Yeah, not until we get more secure networks. My fear that has all of your information.
The biggest problem with that is the HIPAA requirements.
Just asking. No, that's good. We looked into that. Even national for the Jamboree is requiring paper. They're not submitting online. So we did look into it. It's just the server security isn't there.
Any other questions? Thank you.
Thank you. So, and our good friend, Mr. Tangen back there, had a really good suggestion for the pharmaceutical bottles. He worked for quite some time in that field. He said if you go to your pharmacist and just ask my son or I am going to summer camp for a week, they'll give you a bottle, print your name and prescription on it, so everything's today and current, and it'll be a lot smaller. It'll be able to hold that amount of pills, and everything will be good for that. Just a suggestion. Instead of, he knows all Walgreens does it. I'm sure other places do. Just another one, another option. Right. Double knot. What we've all been waiting for. So, as I'm sure you know, because we've talked about it a lot, we're registering online this summer for our Double Knot program. Double Knot is an online merit badge and unit registration that we're going to be using for all council events from now on. And for those of you that are out of council, this is going to be how you're registering this year for camp. And it's important that we do it online because I want the record to be very clear that if you forget to register online and you send your merit badges up to the napowanmb@yahoo.com email like we've done for years and years and years, the priority goes to those that have already registered. So register early, and I will walk you through because I understand that new things can be confusing. But by this time next year, we'll be saying, how did we ever do it on paper? This is incredible. All right. So I made a simple sheet, 5 critical steps to registering online for Double Knot back there. That simplifies it for all events. Let me go into how you're going to register your unit for Napowan right now, because it's a little bit different than how you're going to register for other things in council. So you go to napowan.org, our wonderful website, and you're going to click on Register Your Unit and pick merit badges. All right, you're going to select the week that you're going to be attending camp. So I want to go up week 1. Is that fun? Click here to register. Verify everything. That's my contact email. I'll have business cards back there for you as well. All right. So this is the first part. We're going to stop and explain some things. We've gotten emails about this. I know that it says $310 per scout, and some of you have paid at the $270 rate. If you've already paid and sent in your check, just disregard everything it says about payments. That's the best way to do it. So don't get bogged down by that. It's a computer system that we're still figuring out, so I don't know how to get rid of that if you've already paid. So just ignore the $310 amount if you've already paid your money. A number of you sent in your checks already. We have all of that on file. So this is the week you want to go. You're going to register. If you've already registered them, so let's say, Mr. Begley, you registered your unit last week, and you want to go in and edit that registration, or add more scouts, or change their merit badges. Right now, if you were to click register, it's going to assume that you're registering a second group. So all the work you did before isn't going to show up. If you want to edit your previous registration, you're going to want to click on to edit an existing registration. Click here. That's going to allow you to use your username and password to go in and to look at what you've done previously. So let's say I've never registered before, week 1. If you have a sign-in, you can click there, but remember, if you didn't click to edit an existing registration, click here. The sign-in is just going to take you to you, and you're not going to be able to see your other information. But once again, let's assume that you don't have it. So we're going to create a new user profile. We're just making a fake one. Ooh. And everything that is starred, you have to, let's see if I can chart it. So we're going to save this profile. Oh. Okay. All right. Coming all the way. Okay, really? Nobody look. Hey! So my user ID is going to be my email. Okay, really? Okay, this is great though. So you've created your unit ID. So the person doing this is sometimes the Scoutmaster, sometimes you have a designated Napowan person that signs people up. We're going to do crew 477 RL. Put your email on there. Easy peasy. We're going to select Blue Ridge Council. Okay, continue. All right. So, any questions so far?
Do you have multiple users for the same unit?
You can. So this is, I think, where a little bit of a communication gap occurred. So for Napowan, you're usually only going to want one person to register and to have all that information like in times past. But you can have as many users as you'd like for your unit, because some events at the council, some trainings, are only going to be one person registered. So they can register themselves and be part of your unit. You can have, as a person, you can have 4 or 5 different accounts if you'd like. So you can do it as many times as you want. So we're going to name individuals. And I'm going to go through this. Yes? And we're going to add. And this is another thing I've received questions about. I know that when I click this, it's going to say $310. It has to say that, or else you get to go for free, which would be awesome. Maybe with the Alumni Association. So we're going to put Scout. So I know if you've paid your money already, just ignore the $310. Just pretend like it doesn't exist. Okay. Dan. Okay. We're going to add it. And this is another question that email I've received. If you want to add more people, just click adding, add new participant. Dan needs an adult. Okay. And for the adult, we require a little bit more information. I'm going to be your adult. Blah, blah, blah. 1949. Yeah, 6056. All right, so we're going to add him. Great, so now we have a youth and an adult coming to camp. We're going to go in, click continue. You can add as many as you'd like. Oh, that's awesome. After you add this.
I had a question about adults. We have probably quite a few going.
just as long as there's one. Just you listening back there? Yeah, you get it. But you prefer to have those registered? We'd like as much. I understand that sometimes you're registering, late at night or right before the deadline. You can put a field there. You can put like the place where unit meets for it, as long as we know the basic information. Sign up for merit. So this is the fun part. So you need to select a scout first. This is where some people have gotten confused as well. So, Dan, Hector.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, look at all the activities you can do. So Hector has all of these different choices he can have. The different classes. You want to take archery, don't you?
I've got a question about swimming.
Yeah.
I had very screen we got off that shows for the 9 o'clock classes, swimming was available Sunday.
Yeah, that was a Monday. So I would create about 500 different merit badge classes for every week we had. So some of them they get everything is Monday to Friday basically. Yeah, it's just I get confused with the dates sometimes. So I can go in and correct that, but just assume everything's Monday to Friday because I did get some emails about that as well. So even though it says Sunday, I just entered the day you'll be there. All the merit badge classes start on Monday, and the last time you can take a merit badge class is Friday at 5 p.m. This is when all close. I'm very hesitant to put how long each badge takes because it's going to be different for every scout. We all have different learning styles. I hate to put this badge takes 1 day or this badge takes 3 days. Every badge is Monday to Friday. If they finish earlier, that's incredible. They can start something new.
So you're early to
Yeah. You know what? I'll do that today. I'll do it today. Yes, I'll do it today. And because you also asked, I will update the prerequisite page on the internet.
One important thing to note, in merit badges, we made a change a couple of years ago. A couple of the scheduled merit badges, particularly in the aquatics areas and the shooting sports areas, will start at 8:45 as opposed to 9 o'clock. The reason being we want to offer a passing period between the 9 o'clock and 10 o'clock class so that scouts have time. If they have a merit badge at aquatics and then one at shooting sports, they have 15 minutes to get from one area to the next without missing any instruction. We'll update that page so that it says that information as well, just to keep that in back.
Yes, sir.
We'd like to get a copy of the overall schedule we've seen in the past.
Yeah.
Is that on the website?
Yeah, it's on the Napowan.org website, but I can send out an email blast as well. Yeah, so all of that's on the Napowan.org Leader's Guide website that we have. So here's something that'll blow your mind as well. So all of these classes and horsemanship, if there's a scheduled time, you have to sign up before camp. If you do not sign up before camp, I cannot guarantee it will be offered. We already have week 4, the 10 a.m. swimming class is full. So that's the only class that's full so far. But as we get closer to camp, more will start filling up. So you have to sign up for those where you can. Yes, sir.
And when classes are full, they'll drop off.
They will drop off, and I've made a 5-person wait list for every class. So if you put yourself on the wait list just like in college, it's not a guarantee, but if somebody backs out, it'll automatically put the next person there and send you an email.
So the idea is that when it's not on there, don't email it constantly.
Yes, yes. Yes, sir.
You have to register for the open.
Oh, you do not. Some people like to, some troops love to have every merit badge that the scout wants to take that week. If that's your troop style, that's incredible. Other troops only like to register for the scheduled merit badges and let the scout pick the other badges once they're up there. So if it says open, you do not need to schedule it before camp. So the open merit badges you can take at any time during the week, whereas the scheduled ones obviously are in scheduled pass. Yes?
We have 42 scouts that we run.
Yes.
And they're changing our time and flooding them up and putting them, would you rather I sign them up and then manipulate that later to make sure that they're flooding up and.
If you'd like to.
Or would you rather I just put it on and know these are all ones? It's tough.
It's tough. That's a tough question. Yeah, you can do it either.
Because that means you guys are going to be changing.
Yeah.
Easier for you.
Running later, right?
That's what I would do. Yes, ma'am.
Is there any way to get in and
create an account. I mean, it took me 15 seconds to create an account.
Put in a scout then, right?
Yeah, and you could just, I mean, yeah, my other account is just blank, and as long as you don't hit save, it's not gonna save any information. Or you can go to napowan.org and download a paper copy of it. It's not gonna be as obviously fancy or technological as this. It just lists the merit badges and what times they're offered, so it just requires a little bit more.
So the waiting list, how do you get them on the waiting list?
Yeah, so let's say the 10 a.m. communications class is full. If you were to click that button, it would pop up saying this class is full, and if the waitlist option is possible, it'll say, would you like to add to waitlist? You can click yes or no, but the waitlist only holds 5 people, because I don't want to give a lot of people hope, because I don't want people to rely on that only. Yes?
This is the first time that I'm hearing this explained. The registration is for this system, right? Like the registration that you talked about is for this system.
Yes.
All right. So we can go in, make an account, because I've never done it before, but as a commissioner, I've been bombarded with people asking questions about it. I go in and make an account and kind of do what you're doing before you hit, the send or save type thing, just to have it better explained to myself.
Yes, you can.
And what about the convenience fees? Now, there's been a couple of my units that must have missed the memo about the convenience fees. It's not like a one-time convenience fee per event. It's a per person.
Yes.
They racked up like a couple $100 worth of convenience fees that they didn't budget, and they're kind of...
and I completely understand that. By law, if there's an online interaction, you have to have a convenience fee in there. What all companies do though is they build that into the cost of the product. So if you ever bought anything online, you've paid the convenience fee. But we want to be as transparent as possible so you know exactly what you're paying for. So there's a few ways. It's 2.75% of the overall item that you're paying for, plus $1.50 per transaction. That is a by law requirement. So when we get to the next page, I'll show you that. You can bypass the convenience fee by either sending in or mailing your check, or paying with an online check. An e-check, I would suggest going to for your troop. You just have to put your routing number, everything else. And if you use an e-check, it's going to be $1.50 convenience fee only. You no longer get the 2.75%. So the 2.75, it doesn't sound like a lot if you're registering for a $50 Weeblos camp. It's going to be $2. But let's say you have $13,000 for Napowan fees. That's when you start talking about real money. So for those troops, I suggest just mail them your check, and we'll be good. Yeah, but we're required to. Well, we don't. Yeah, so horsemanship, you can do online, all that other fun stuff. So let me just continue. We're going to hit continue. And finally, checkout. Now, you need to go to the checkout page in order to save what you've done. So I've gotten some angry phone calls about people that have gotten this far, didn't want to pay now, exited out. It's not going to say what you did until you go to the checkout page. So let's go there. We go to checkout. Oh, snap. Yeah, that's another. It'll tell you what it is. So let's go to the adult fee. This is actually pretty classic. If you have an adult, click on the form right there, and it's going to ask you how long you're coming for so that we can budget a little bit better. I'm coming for the full week. Simple. So we are going to go to the checkout page right now. All right. So it's going to tell you what scouts and adults are going and what badges they signed up for. It's also going to give you your subtotal. Every scout, as of right now, is going to be charged $310. I know we're going to honor, obviously, the crossover fee of $270, but there's no way for me to write that into the program because it's after April 5th, which was the early bird fee. It's it's going to charge all scouts $310. The way that we can work around that is you can either pay up at Napowan with Marty, and he'll just deduct that from your overall, or you can pay the full amount online before you come to camp and we can issue a refund. Or, if you're good at math, you can just calculate the number of youth you have for a first year.
Can we just note that when we send in the check,
Yeah.
we below, here's our recalculation?
Yes, that is absolutely okay. So we're going to amount to pay now. Check out, once you verified everything. It's going to populate, and you're going to click the red box, and this may be the most important thing you learned today, because you are not done yet. You have to click the save button. A lot of emails about the save button. It's located right here. Let's see what happens. Hey! And you have officially registered Dan Malsum for 2 merit badges and Raab.
Wasn't there a tutorial help on the, I don't know if it's on the top of every slide or something?
There
was the last slide, is that like a video or something?
Yeah, if you go to Double Knot, it has a little tutorial about things. Also this week, we're going to be recording how-tos on Double Knot and putting that on YouTube and link it to the council website. So how to register for Napowan, how to register for all these other events that you'll be able to access as well. Yeah, it's a new system. We didn't anticipate all the growing pains, but we're working through it. It's incredible. Like I said, it's what we're going to be using, so it'll be fun. Yeah.
I just wanted to make a quick comment about Double Knot. Me and Dan were talking about this a little bit before. Get your son involved while you're doing it. Because they know a lot more about programs like this than even I do, and it's also really good practice for when they have to start registering for classes in college, because it's extremely similar. So if they have experience in something like this of registering for classes and scheduling out of when they need to be where and where they want to go, it's really going to help them a lot, because it gets even more frustrating when you're registering for classes for college for the first time with a program like this. So it'll just give them a little bit more experience in the future, which is what we're all about here.
And very good call on the cooking. I registered for cooking earlier rather than later as well. So as you can see, it's filling up quick. Yes, sir.
Is AI going to be on this right
It will. I guess I forgot to place the bid on it, so it'll be fixed by today. You'll be able to get all. We have brochures for AI that we'll put on there as well. How to choose today.
Yeah, I'll promote AI one more time. We're going to make this AI into a it's going to become a mainstay of Camp Napowan. So let even your younger scouts know about it, get them excited about it for future years, because it's here to stay. We've done this program for 2 years now. It's been very successful, and we're getting to the point now where we're getting sustained interest in it from week to week, and that's why it's going to keep getting stronger. So let your scouts know, especially your older ones, but let the younger ones know too, but that's going to be their stay.
Sure.
The video, I know Don has his channel for YouTube. Will we be using that or the Napowan?
We'll be using the Napowan program. Yep, wonderful. Well, Marty, Dan, any questions for any of us up here? Wonderful. Like I said, please call out. I have never seen so much excitement for camp before. A really cool thing is we have over 7 councils coming up to Napowan this year from all across the Midwest. So it's going to be a very diverse summer. It's going to be a fun summer. We have a lot of new things. We're having a staff meeting right after this. We're all pumped and ready to go. We'll be sticking around. If you have individual questions, please feel free to ask. And thank you all again for coming. I think there's munchkins in the back.